the special intensive revision needs to be understood by all people in the context that up until now, as per the constitution, we the people had the right to choose the government. We have something called the universal adult franchise, which is all people above the age of 18. As they turn 18, they have a right to vote and choose their government, regardless of their caste, class, gender, as long as they are citizens of this country. Now, what this special intensive revision is doing is to upturn that logic, which is to say that now the ECI will choose who are the citizens who will vote and do they have a right to vote. Now, by doing that, people will ask, revisions have always been done, people die, they have to be removed from electoral list. So what is the big deal about this? The big deal about this is the framework of the special intensive revision has been changed. Up until now, the responsibility was on the Election Commission of India to go and regularly revise electoral rolls based on enumeration which they would do door to door. In this particular case, the burden has been completely reversed. Who is responsible to go and prove that we are a citizen? You and I are responsible to go and prove that we are a citizen. Now, what is the logic on which and what counts as voter proof? If you had a voter ID last election, that same voter ID does not count as proof. So last election you could vote, you were a voter, you were a citizen. But this election somehow you are not. So the standard of proof and documentation depends on when you were born. And where does this logic come from? All of us who have seen the CAA NRC protests and who have read the laws CAA NRC, it's the same logic of what years, which documents, who has to produce what kind of documents. What does it effectively do? It leads to mass disenfranchisement, which we have seen in Bihar. In Bihar, there were 65 lakh voters that were removed, struck out from the electoral list, out of which only 30,000 people had the wherewithal to contest with the block level officers to say, no, I want to raise an objection saying, I am a voter, I am a citizen, I should have the right to vote. So essentially, after the Supreme Court gave a heavy verdict on electoral bonds, how to use money and how elections can be manipulated and manufactured in India, now we're at a state where the ECI on the behest of the BJP-led government is choosing which of us is worthy of the votes, devising demographies which is best for them to continue to win elections. If we don't wake up to this now, there will be this is a death knell to the democracy. After this, what will be left to fight for our rights to democratically elect governments itself will be in question. These are the major concerns that we have with respect to the SIR.
So at this juncture, your demands?
Very simple. It's a Congress-led government. If they can't have the spine to pass a resolution similar to the Kerala government saying that we will not implement the SIR in Karnataka, in that case, it is worth questioning why they are in power.
If a few states reject this law or SIR, this policy of the central government, could there be possibility that it could be across the nation be boycotted?
So it is similar to CAA NRC. It started from one breaking point which led to an uproar in the entire country saying we reject the CAA NRC, hum kagaz nahi dikhayenge. That became the central call of the entire nation. So this is also a moment for us to reflect, saying in Bihar they had to do this entire process of special intensive revision in 1 month before elections, right? So keeping that in mind, if as Kannadigas, as people living in Karnataka, we don't wake up, we will be facing a similar situation here.
And this particular program, ma'am?
This is a joint program by a coalition of My Vote, My Right, where different organizations, Dalit organizations, women's organizations, student organizations, all the trade unions have come together to say that it is my vote, it is my right. You cannot roll back one of the most basic rights in the constitution, which is, as a citizen of this country, I have a right to vote.
After the conclusion of the meeting, will you be passing any resolutions or meeting the chief minister or the governor with the memorandum or something?
We will decide strategy based on how the meeting progresses and what are the kind of inputs of the people. Because unlike the government, we like to listen to people.